Hey guys, welcome to another makeup stash video in my makeup stash series. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my entire eyeshadow palette collection. This video is going to be 7 hours long, I just know it. The way that I broke this down, I'm not going to be talking about quads or anything like that. I'm going to be talking about palettes to have over like 7 eyeshadows. I consider that a palette. I'm not going to be sharing with you guys my Z palettes because I have a bunch of single eyeshadows in those, so they're technically not palettes. I mean, they're Z palettes, but they're just full of like Makeup Geek and MAC and Makeup Forever and all that stuff. I'm going to be specifically talking about palettes sold as a palette. I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I have so many. And honestly guys, before I get the comments like, nobody needs that many palettes. I know nobody needs that many palettes. I think you're good with like a colorful one and then a neutral one and you're good to go. Those are the only eyeshadows you'll ever need. But with what I do YouTube for a living and I'm always buying new palettes. I get sent new palettes, things like that, because I'm constantly looking at new things and trying out new things to share with you guys, to recommend to you guys. Because trust me, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would give more than half of these away to friends and family and just keep the bare necessities. Okay, in no particular order, I'm gonna talk about the Naked palettes first. I have the Naked Basics. This is the original one. I don't have Naked Basics 2 because I do not like it personally, but I haven't used this palette in a hot minute, and I should, because it does have your nice basic neutrals. It has 6 eyeshadows. It's great for on the go, but I do have a couple of other neutral matte shadows that I like more than this one. I might just go ahead and give this one away to my sister. Who knows? I like it though, I just don't use it as much. And then I have these 3 right here. I have the original Naked palette, I have the Naked 3, and I have the Naked Smoky. I used to have the Naked 2 palette, but I gave it away to a friend because I never ever touched it. It's my least favorite Naked palette out of all 4 of them. This one being my top dog. Isn't it weird that the only letter that's faded is the K? Isn't that weird? This is my second favorite palette of all time. I feel like you cannot go wrong with the original, especially if you like warm eyeshadows. It's very bronzy, very chocolatey. The quality is amazing and I love it. I also really enjoy the Naked 3. I was so happy when they came out with a rosy tone palette. They have really romantic shades. And I wear these colors like during February, like Valentine's Day, or if I want like a romantic look. I really love this palette. Hate the packaging. I like this packaging. I know nobody does, but I do. And then I have the Naked Smoky, which is their newest one. I haven't really dove into this one quite as much as I want to. I have to play with it a little bit more, but I like it because it has nice, sultry, smoky colors. This is the Tartelette palette from the brand Tarte, obviously. It's full of matte eyeshadows only. It has like a row of rosy colors, a row of purple, and then a row of like cool tone colors right here. So it is very versatile. I really like it. I don't use it as much as I should, but I love how they have cooler tone eyeshadows because I'm the type of person that goes for warmer eyeshadows. So it's nice to have something like this that I could dig into. I have 2 of the e.l.f. Prism eyeshadows. These are amazing eyeshadows from the drugstore. I mean, amazing palettes, Prism eyeshadow palettes. I have this one in the shade Smoke, and I want to do a tutorial using one of these colors because they're stunning. They're very pigmented. I highly recommend these e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palettes. But my favorite one is this one in the shade Naked. I've done a tutorial using this. This has the most metallic, most amazing, frosty, shimmery, not frosty, more metallic, but the best chocolatey colors I've ever seen. It's crazy. You would think they were like Makeup Forever eyeshadows. They're that good. I have 4 of these mini Too Faced palettes. This is in the much older packaging. I'm not exactly sure if you can still get this palette, but I keep it because when I bought it, it was my all-time favorite palette. Like, I was using this palette on the daily. This is what it looks like. It's called the Too Faced Natural at Night palette. I'm so glad they changed the packaging because I don't like this cardboard. But it has the most amazing warm, like olivey and chocolatey and bronzy smoky eyes. I'm really into those colors, as you can tell. But I keep it because this is my favorite olive green eyeshadow in the world. And I wish they sold it separately because I love it. I actually did a tutorial like a year and a half ago using that eyeshadow, but I still enjoy this palette from time to time. It's very smoky, nighttime appropriate. And then I have these 3 right here. This one is not my favorite, but it's still really good. This is the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. It's full of really nice colors. I keep it because I love blackberry, I love sugared violet, and this melted milk ball is really nice too. So whenever I want like pops of color like this, I could reach for this. So that is the Sugar Pop, very good quality. I love Too Faced shadows, they're amazing. And then I have this one, this is the Natural Eyes. And this one is gorgeous. I highly recommend the Natural Eyes palette along with this one. This is the Natural Matte palette. I'm showing you both of them because there are eyeshadow repeats in this one. They have very similar eyeshadows. This one is just all matte, while this one has a few shimmer shades. So I would go for this one if you are into both matte and shimmers. This Natural Eyes palette was my obsession when I got it. It's awesome. I'm sorry that I'm not swatching these and I'm not going through all of them, but we would be here for days. Days, I tell you, days. This is the Saucebox palette, and it's in collaboration with Battleash. So is their Battleash palette. I still haven't used this. I hauled this when I went to Fame Expo, and I still have not used it. Although this first row is like screaming my name. I don't know why I haven't used it yet. And this one's amazing. Oh my gosh. Look at that curler. Woo! These Saucebox eyeshadows are very good quality, but this palette cost me an arm and a leg, man. And this was a very expensive palette. You do get really gigantic eyeshadows, so you probably won't hit pan on this for a very long time. So, I mean, I understand. This is the Sigma Creme de Couture palette. If you guys have been watching my channel since the beginning, then you have seen this before. I'm talking like the beginning. I purchased this palette because I didn't have any color, like any eyeshadows that looked like this. They're very colorful, but they're very pastel-y. It was macaroon inspired, so I loved this. They're actually really good quality. They're very good quality. They're just very soft shadows, and the only reason why I keep it is because it's a nice limited edition palette. And this was the first eyeshadow palette that I reviewed on my channel. Like, I bought it for my channel. I was telling Danny, I'm like, I really want to buy that palette. I really want to do a video on it. So he got it for me, so it's like sentimental. But I like using this for Easter or around that time. I actually used this purple one mixed with this pink one on Mother's Day. It looked really nice. Mother's Day of last year. Not this Mother's Day that passed. The one before that. I have 4 Lorac palettes. So I have the 2 Lorac Pro palettes. This is the original and this is the second one. I never use these on my channel. You're probably like, girl, you never use any of these things. But I don't know why. The original is probably my favorite one, just because, I mean, these are colors that I wear all the time. This gold shade is so good. They're very buttery. I highly recommend the Pro palettes. They're just so smooth. They're easy to blend. They're really good quality and good for the price. And then I have the second one, and I just don't use this one. I think I might give this one to my sister. I don't know, I really love the shade Rosé. It's stunning, but I think I might pass this along. This isn't like a declutter video, but I might just give this to my sister because I don't really use it that much. I much prefer the original, actually. When I first got this, I loved it. I even thought I loved it more than this one, but then I found myself going back to this one, so. And then the other 2 Lorac palettes that I actually prefer over the Pro palettes. I think that everyone loves the Pro palettes. Everyone says that those are the best palettes from Lorac, but I disagree. This is just my humble opinion. I like the unzipped palettes more. They aren't as like breakable. Like, you put your brush into the Lorac Pro palettes, and because the eyeshadows are so soft, like you put your brush in and eyeshadow goes everywhere. It like explodes. And these don't do that, but they do have amazing pigmentation. So this is the original unzipped, and I use this a ton, just not on my videos, and I don't know why. But these are very rosy colors, but it's different from the Naked 3 palette, because the Naked 3 palette has like purpley rosy colors, and this has like bronze rosy colors, so I prefer these kinds of shades. I'm not gonna lie, this color sucks. This one right here called Undiscovered, it's just chunky and glittery and barely has pigmentation, and I feel the same way about Unreal, but these 2 are the only ones I don't like. I love every other eyeshadow, but my all-time favorite unzipped is the Unzipped Gold. This is what it looks like. It's so amazing, and I know it just seems basic and bland, but look at this eyeshadow. I mean, this eyeshadow alone is the reason why I bought it. this eyeshadow alone, and it's called Unleashed. Yep, I bought it for one eyeshadow. This is another e.l.f. palette, and they came out with a ton of these kinds of palettes that look like this. They're different from the Prism palettes. They look just like this, and this is the only one I liked. I didn't like any of the other ones. This one is their matte one. It's called Mad for Matte, and I highly recommend it. Even though I didn't like the other ones, this one is so good. It has really great pigmentation. You get a bunch of different matte shades, earth tones. You have a really good variety, and it's the perfect like companion palette where you can go into a palette full of shimmers and do like a shimmery look, and if you need any matte color, anything, you can jump into this palette and use this. This is a very, very new palette, and I haven't used it yet because I pretty much just got it. This is the Stardust palette by Too Faced. It was their collaboration with Vegas Nay, and I love Too Faced eyeshadows, so I know that these are good. This color right here called Showgirl, I made this little corner right here, you know, these reds and these warm browns, amazing, really good quality. The Urban Decay Electric palette, I actually featured this in my favorite palettes of 2014. This was featured. This is the best colorful eyeshadow palette in the world. I bought this, fell in love with this. Amazing. These eyeshadows are amazing, and obviously this isn't the kind of palette that you wear on a daily basis, but it is one of my top 5 favorite palettes because the quality is amazing. I've done a few tutorials using this when I first bought it. It's just so freaking good. Oh, I almost broke that. So 2 palettes from Anastasia, and these are both palettes that I highly recommend. If you can get your hands on them, get them, because they like to come out with palettes and then take them away from us. But these are the Anastasia palettes. This one is the Artist palette, and this is the Shadow Couture palette. This one I bought, and this one was sent to me, but I love this palette. You get a ton of different colors and some neutrals, and this is only $30. That's what I really love about Anastasia palettes. Even though their single eyeshadows are kind of pricey, when you buy her palettes, they're 30 bucks. You get a brush and you get 12 eyeshadows for 30 bucks. I mean, I think it's a great deal, but this one is my favorite. This is the World Traveler palette, Shadow Couture palette, whatever. It has like 2 names. You get pops of color here and there, but it's a very warm, delicious palette for $30, and I highly recommend this palette a lot. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. It's my favorite palette from Wet n Wild because to me it has the most pigmented, the most high quality, the most amazing shadows in the entire world. I love the greens in this palette. I did a tutorial using the greens, and these chocolatey colors are nice. The only thing that sucks is that they're all shimmery shades, but that's when you can grab your e.l.f. Matte for Matte that I can't find, and you could use it in companion. Like, they work really well together. I love this palette. This is my all-time favorite palette. If all of my palettes disappeared except one, this is the one I would want to keep, and it is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I also featured this in my best palettes of 2014. Or best. This to me is the best palette in the world. I take it with me whenever I travel. This is my traveling buddy. Even though I have the old packaging that's thicker, the new packaging is a lot slimmer, which I want, but I already have this one, so. I love it. I love both highlight shades. I love every shade. The only shade I don't like is this one in the corner, this green. It comes off like super, like barely green. I don't like it, but all the other ones, amazing quality. And it smells like vanilla cocoa. I love it. Best palette in the world. I also have a ton of these palettes by Morphe. Now I quickly wanted to mention these because even though I have so many of these Morphe palettes, these 3 are the best ones, and I just wanted to share them with you. This is the 35. I highly recommend each and every one of these 3. I have like 10, but these 3 are the best and worth your money. I mean, all Morphe palettes are worth your money because you get like a million eyeshadows and it's really cheap. But these are so worth your money. This one is the 35T palette. Full of beautiful mauves, beautiful browns, really romantic, nice and rosy. I love it. A few purples here and there. I love this one. I have a tutorial using this one. And then this is the 35O palette, which this is the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. Just like 2 colors, but I love this. If you're a warm girl, if you're an orange girl, this will be your friend. I love, love, love it. Very good quality, amazing. Look at this, look, look. Just look, just look. I love it. And then this is the 35D palette. I also have a tutorial using this one. I used the blues. Really dark, smoky colors. If you are into like really dark, amazing colors, I highly recommend this one. I have a 10% off coupon code. It's Kathleen Lights, and you save 10% off at Morphe. I have the Sonia Kashuk Eye on Neutral Matte Palette. I love this. It's my favorite matte palette from the drugstore, hands down. My favorite. The only color I don't like is this white one because there's no pigmentation at all. But all the other ones, very buttery, very pigmented. I'm always using this. You guys see this a lot. It's well loved. This is my Holy Grail matte eyeshadow palette. I have a bunch of palettes that have strictly matte shadows. This is my favorite one. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. This is what it looks like. I love it because it has a ton of warm colors, smoky colors. I have a tutorial using the purple ones. I have a tutorial using this color called Mocha. It's my favorite eyeshadow in this palette. It's like an olive green gray. Sunset and Sunrise, oranges, these are amazing. The reason why I love this palette, this matte palette, more than any of my other ones is because they're almost a satin finish, not a flat matte. So they're not chalky, they're not patchy, they're not powdery, they're almost creamy, and that's really hard to come across when they're matte shades. If you guys haven't tried the Naturally Pretty palette, the original, you need to. You will never look at other matte shadows the same again. And then I have this one that they just came out with. They just sent me this. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty Romantics palette. Now, I already know that I'm not going to love this one as much as the original, but it's still stunning nonetheless. The same buttery quality, amazing. They're all matte. This is just a lot softer, a little bit more pastels, a little bit like a light green and purples, and a little bit softer. We're almost done. I just have 3 more to share with you guys. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. Another matte palette that I really, really like, but it's not my all-time favorite. The pigmentation is so intense on this that you have to be really, really careful. It can get really heavy really quickly, so it's not a look that you can go into like a very soft, because it won't be very soft. It's gonna be bold and it's gonna be intense, which I do like about this. So yes, the Kat Von D Shade and Light Palette. And then I have the 2 palettes by The Balm, the Nude Tude and the Nude Dude. This is the original, the first one they came out with. I was obsessed with this when I first got it. I used it all the time. I haven't used it in a long time, and I think I'm gonna give this away to a friend of mine because I haven't used it in so long. And then I have the Nude Dude, which is their newer one, and I actually like more than the original. This actually has the guys on it. This one has the girls, this one has the guys. I just like this color selection more than this one. So really, really good quality. I love The Balm. And they're always going on sale. They do like flash sales for 50% off all the time. Okay guys, so that completes this makeup stash video. I hope it wasn't too long. I tried to go through each palette really, really quickly because I have so many. Leave me requests down below what you want future makeup stash videos to be about, and I will definitely write them down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!